Hello friends and colleagues as well as our community members. Today is exciting because we're concluding our assessment of raised garden bed vendors and products, and it really was a long haul. It was over 6 weeks, and we started off looking at different raised gardens by searching on the web and then starting in building our long list of vendors and products and then culling that down to a short list. And so this video is all about that, and I'm going to be referring to the article that comes from our blog, which is found at, first of all, our website is 1782farm.com, and our blog is found at blog.1782farm.com, and there we feature our Simples and Warts Herbal Apothecary and Wellness Gift Shop, which we've been running for over 15 years. And let's get into this article. It's very interesting. First of all, we're at part 2 of 4 featured segments for this series on raised garden beds. And we're going to be introducing the next generation of raised garden, which is based on our assessment that I'm going to tell you about right now. Let me make it clear that our raised garden bed research came about from building our new farmstead, which is called Roadstead Farms, and that's on Cape Cod, Massachusetts. As we got into the specific requirements criteria that we use, the field of product entrance broadened, and so did our interest, as we have used the square foot gardening method in 14 raised beds, each of which is 4 foot by 8 foot, and you can see a drone shot below of those beds to the left of our barn. So we used those for really just about 20 years, and we started off with untreated raised cedar materials and put those together very quickly and used those for many years, and they've served us well. But now we're moving to a new farmstead and wanted to go through a specific research project and look at the different beds and see what we could come up with. And wanted to say that we wanted to really have a specific decision criteria for our process. And let me run through that with you right now. And I'm going to stick to the high-level categories because there's quite a lot of subcategories. The first core requirement criteria is structural integrity and materials. The second one is soil and drainage performance. The third is environmental suitability. The fourth is irrigation and water management. The fifth is pest and weed management. The sixth is seasonal and maintenance considerations. And this one is extremely important one because that's where we can extend the season with a raised garden, or we can protect the plants that are growing in it from different pests, such as deer, rabbits, woodchucks, and so forth. And 7, seating and ergonomic features. And there's a note that I wanted to make that we can use this decision requirements model in a decision support system which uses what is called AHP, which is a technical term for analytic hierarchy process. But that's a tool that's used in a lot of universities and research areas as well as the areas of business. And you can look at a model like this that I've just nailed down, and you can tune it for your own consideration. So you can put weight on the various criteria and form your decision accordingly. So if you ever need any help in that area, I'd be glad to guide you. And the entrants for our long list of products and vendors are Birdie's, Vajiga, Vigo, Ale, Chris Hopkins Raised Gardens, and 6 is Landguard. And I personally looked at over 30 products, and the above long list is a good one for you to start with and just see what you think as you search through the web. And must note that, we had like 2 vendors that came in at the very end, and so that's what delayed our research a little bit, but we now have a good handle on the specific criteria and how these vendors performed. And you can go with whatever bed you need for your own farming operation or horticultural activity, but we came to our own conclusion based on those lists of criteria and feel good about introducing what we consider to be the next generation of raised garden beds. And we think it's time for a revolution to come to the area of raised garden bed designs. And the Chris Hopkins Raised Garden offers an innovative approach that solves the issues plaguing today's market leaders, which are all offshore competitors, while setting a new industry standard for safety, ergonomics, functionality, and carbon footprint sustainability, which was a surprise for us in a number of cases with several vendors. But I'm proud to not only introduce the Chris Hopkins Raised Garden line of durable raised gardens and future product developments. Hint, it's bright, and there are some huge product developments coming around the corner, which I can't wait to share with you in the future. Now, even with our decision to become a Chris Hopkins Raised Garden dealer for our global 1782farm.com brand and our Simples and Warts Herbal Apothecary Wellness Gift Shop brands, we have a community that spans the globe, actually, that follows us because of our guidance on gardening and farming methodologies and certainly holistic resource management. And so we realize that you may have chosen another vendor, and that's fine, but we're making this decision for our own operation, and in addition, making the decision to offering additional value, such as raised garden enhancements, but mostly a community and online forum with a newsletter that allows us to share insiders information on how we take these gardens to the next level. And so, in any case, we want to just make a note for you that we ran our own professional level product and vendor assessment over 6 weeks. We developed our own long list of vendors without any assistance other than our own web searches. We were not paid in any way, except in our mind, for finding what we believe our community's optimal raised garden product is. And that's a huge step forward for all of us. And we did not buy any of these products to test out in advance of our research. We were focused in on finding users on video who love or dislike their raised garden bed experience. And so that really formed our own opinions, and we chose to pursue Chris after culling our long list of products and vendors and getting it down to. We tried to go for 3, but it really came down to 3/4 of the way through our process. We realized that that Chris's line of raised gardens was a better fit for us, and which our community that spanned these different groups were asking for. And so let me jump right to these aspects, which I think you're going to find interesting as well. We have identified 4 raised garden solution systems, and there are way of adding value to the Chris Hopkins raised gardens that we will be selling here in the Northeast and beyond to our community members. And here's what we offer. We're going to focus one of these solution systems on high-performance market garden operations. Secondly, elder raised gardening. Third, cancer patient raised gardens. And fourth, horticultural specialty raised gardens as well. And we are going to make sure to bundle a Chris Hopkins Raised Garden 1-year prepaid subscription to our Chris Hopkins Raised Garden World online magazine and discussion forum for our exclusive channel, which is our Insiders group. and that's a $60 value to get you started. Plus, we bundle in a bunch of other tools for our community members to take their level of success farther based on our own research and usage. And at the end of the day, we chose the Chris Hopkins raised garden because it's engineered for durability, accessibility, and high performance growing, especially because of the 35-inch bed depths for optimal root development and reduced strain for users. So we want to encourage you to read about these in our blog, join it, and then also join our separate and independent Chris Hopkins Raised Garden World, and you will see the link here in the end of our article. So thank you so very much for your attention, and we look forward to answering your questions as we go forward. There's a lot more detail in this specific article, and 2 more segments are coming as well. So we will talk with you soon. Thanks again. Bye for now.